Listen to what I say. Step aside.
Judith Grimes.
Welcome to The Walking Dead, people. Welcome to Judith Grimes. Yes, it's your host, Ken Dogs, and I'm about to bring you the review. Real hood reviews, people. Just how you know, how you like it, and you want it. Here it comes. So in this episode, The Walking Dead, Season 9, Episode 6, this is called Who Are You Now? And this is, I gotta say, the naming of these episodes are fantastic because they actually fit the narrative of the episodes. And Episode 6 is another episode that's like an introduction to a new introduction to the timeline. Fresh characters that are introduced that brings a new level of, I would say, a distinct level of freshness to the Walking Dead blueprint, right? So before you know basically where everyone fell into as who the antagonist is, who this person is, what are their plans, who Rick is. Now you get a glimpse of of how they're moving forward with this series. And I got to say, it's very entertaining and something that I look forward to, and I didn't think that I would be looking forward to. And I just, it's a different show altogether with this new showrunner, and she still gives you that anxiety of they're under threat by, which now we all know, spoiler, the Whisperers are introduced, right? If you don't know who the Whisperers are, you kind of just have to, I'm not going to give too much spoilers here. You kind of just have to watch the episode and maybe read some of the lore, or just pay attention to this season. And I think it's going to be a lot to do with the Whisperers, right? That was a surprising development for many, but for those who keep track of the comic book, pretty much know what the Whisperers are. And there's a little twist on that too, which is kind of interesting. So Rick is no longer, the main character, right? So now we have who's going to take on that role. And the first thing we see in this episode is Michonne is the most relevant character along with Judith Grimes. And which makes sense. I love Judith's character. She's smart. She's very intelligent for her age. And I'm thinking she's around 9 or 10. I don't know if they gave you the age. But she goes around a little more aware than Carl was. A little more street savvy than Carl was. She's not just hopeful. She's also realistic. And you see that in the conversation that she has with Negan. And what's funny about this conversation is Negan is trying to manipulate her, because that's what he does, people. Negan is a manipulator, and he goes and he has this conversation with this young, impressionable kid, and basically tries to tell her, why are you talking to me about math? Like, I don't want to know about math. Math is not necessary in this world. Like, when are you going to use math to kill a zombie, right? Granted that he needed bullets, which were created through mathematical precision, but anyway, we're not even going to get to that. But he's talking about, you don't need math. Talk to me about real issues, real problems. Basically, he wants to know the ends. He wants the gossip, people. He wants to know the dirt, which is why we all listen to different podcasts and stuff. And she starts to give him the dirt on what's going on, and he gives his opinion, and she's basically not going to listen to him. And he's like, why are you not going to listen to me? She's like, because he throws back at him his comments where in mathematics, it doesn't matter if you're a good or bad person. Mathematics is just mathematics. It's numbers. It's an equation. You solve it. But when it comes to real life, it does matter what you're getting your source of truth from, right? And for someone of her age and being sheltered to have this kind of discipline and understanding is amazing. Amazing. I mean, I know this is a show, but kids nowadays most kids don't even have that kind of, street smart and savvy. So that was pretty interesting to see. Another thing interesting to see is how all the characters are pretty much developed. And I know this is a time jump, but man, everyone is into their own thing. Aaron, we have a whole Congress going on in Alexandria, which has all the top big heavy hitters to make decisions. But it really looks like Michonne still holds the kind of like the American democracy, where the president still makes some of the rules, but we still have people that have checks and balances, which it kind of shows in Alexandria that that's what they're going for. And it's really, really good that they did that, because a lot of the things that they're going to be facing and the engagements that they're going to be having with the different towns, they really need that kind of leadership through a strong leader like Michonne. And talking about Michonne, she's trying to show bravery, but she's distraught, right? She's lost her husband. She's now a mother to two kids. Rick dropped the seed, baby, before he left. He popped one off. Bang! Right there. Hold that. I'm out. That's what he did. That's Rick. He basically dropped one off and then he left. Zombie apocalypse or not, I gotta sow my royal oats. The man did what he had to do. And now she has two kids, people, and she's taking care of both of them, and she has to be a mom and a pop. So you know how that single mom thing goes. She has to be both. And she's trying to keep it together, but you see her talking to Rick. Well, not Rick, but to the ghost of Rick, right? If we have to say it in a way that makes sense. The ghost of Rick. And trying to get some kind of comfort to doing and making the hard choices, because Rick, although he had help, made all the tough decisions. Whether they were right or wrong, he made the tough decisions. Another person we get to see in a different character, I would say, phase, is Carol. She looks like she jumped straight out of Lord of the Rings, right? Or maybe she's Raiden's wife from Mortal Kombat, because her hair is all white, and it's just crazy looking. But Carol is still badass, but has shown her softer side and is maybe able to do a balance, because she finds herself stuck in a situation where normally Carol would have went and just probably murked him right away. No mercy. But she decides to be more strategic with that. And that's not really Carol's suit. She's just gonna get it done, right? And I found that very interesting. And she now is considered a queen, right? She is now a queen. Believe that shit. Carol is a freaking queen, people. Oh my goodness. A queen with no mercy. So we have all these different changes, all these different characters. We meet Daryl, who still looks like he's a renegade, just basically doing his thing, out to get people, not out to get people, just out to get zombies out of his way. And we get introduced to a whole bunch of new characters. One of them is Kelly. There's a whole bunch of different new characters that we really don't know much about, but by Judith saving them and bringing them to Alexandria, we get a chance to see a little bit of backstory about some of these characters and why they feel like they need to be part of the group, right? Now, the one good thing that I think that is really, really interesting is the introduction of the Whisperers was just a subtle introduction, right? It wasn't, here's the new baddie, this is what's going on, you have to fear them. It was just slightly, it's coming. And interesting, they whisper. The freaking zombies could talk, people. Goddamn. And Eugene, there's just like so many little Easter eggs. Eugene has the hots for Rosita. He's like, yo, if Churchman, his father, is getting some buns, how come I can't get no buns? I want buns too. I've been here long enough. I deserve some buns. Eugene wants some buns from Rosita. And I think she knows, because in this episode, he tries to tell her, like, yo, I got to tell you something. I've been wanting them buns for mad long. It's taking a long time for me to tell you this, but I could talk straight now. I'm about to die. I need some buns. And I'm talking ghetto because it's real hood, people. It's real hood reviews. And so Eugene tries to put it out there, but she kind of shushes him. She's like, don't say nothing. It's not that time yet. You ain't going to die. Don't worry about it. I'm going to let you live. But Eugene ain't having it. He just wants some buns, you know. And this is just what I could say an amazing thing to happen, because the fact that we have all these different little backstories and intertwining storytelling, and now we have walker herds that can communicate and strategize. It gives us something that we haven't gotten in a long time from the great glory days of season 1 and 2. A threat through every fabric of the show. There's always a little anxiety going on when you're watching this season, because you just don't know what to expect. It's before you just had, here's the saviors, they're the bad guy. You got to fight him. You got to kill him. How are we going to get rid of him? Is it going to be the last episode? Is it going to be this episode? Now it's more of, where are they going with this? What is going to happen? Who's going to be the real leader? We know that Carol is, a leader in her own right. But now they're bringing stronger characters to add it to the show. Are they going to get a different role? Who's next to leave the show? Who's next to die? So many questions unanswered. And I definitely feel that for those who were like me and just didn't think that this season would have went anywhere because we know certain main characters were leaving the show, this might be the best thing that ever happened to this show. Because right now, I am engaged as I've ever been watching this episode. And to give it a review, frankly, this is another episode where I give it almost a 5. It's a 4.8. Because there's everything that's right about the show going on right now, where there's anxiety, there's new characters being thrown at us, there's new questions being brought while old questions are being answered. The only reason why I didn't give it a 5 because Negan is still in freaking jail after this future event happens, where now Judith is older. How long is his brother gonna be in jail? There's no parole in the zombie apocalypse. You know what I'm saying? My man needs to get a lawyer. Something. But you can see that coming too. With the whole, they show you that the sanctuary, everyone is not talking anymore. And this time has passed and everyone's still mourning Rick. And you see how his life has affected, his so-called passing has affected every character. We haven't seen Maggie, but we kind of think that's gonna be in the next episode as well. But with that going on, I'm interested to see what people think are gonna happen. What do the fans think will happen? I'm not talking about the comic books. I'm talking about you just watching the show and thinking where it's gonna go next, people. Hit me up. Hit me on hoodnewsmedia@gmail.com. Hit me on Twitter. Hit me on Facebook. We do have posts going up asking some of these questions. I just want to know. I want to engage with you guys. I want to talk about the show. I want to know what you think. Is my 4.8 a little too high? It's out of 5 people. Do you think that's it? You're done. Rick is over. Dictatorship. So you're done with this show, or are you willing to stay around to see the episode end, to see the season end, and are you enjoying the episode? That's all I got to say, people. I love the show. I think it's great right now. I'm definitely engaged watching it. And this is Real Hood Review and your host, Ken Dogs. Look forward to hearing from you. Peace.